The NFLPA, the Players Association, have started to report and started to release report cards on working conditions across the league, polling their members, 1,700 people, so like half the player body, votes in this on working conditions. And the categories range from treatment of families, food quality, cafeteria, nutritionists, locker room, training staff, weight room, strength coaches, team travel, head coach for overall responsiveness, ownership for overall responsiveness. And for the second straight year, the Patriots rank near the bottom of the league, in the bottom 5. Do you have the exact overall ranking, Jim Murray, in front of you?
I do not.
Okay.
I heard on Zolak and Bertrand that they ranked either 27th or 28th.
Okay, so I can't find, of course, because I can never find the exact column. I need to find when I need to find it.
It's 29th.
They ranked 29th in the league, combined. 29th in the NFL. Where'd they rank last year, Jimmy? Do you happen to know?
They finished
24th last year.
I have 26th in front of me, but it's around that.
I have the actual grid, the report card that expands everything out. It's 24th last year. It's 29th this year.
So they were in the bottom third last year, and they've sunk to the bottom 3. 29th out of 32 teams in terms of working conditions across the National Football League. And that does not just talk about facilities, although it includes it. The size of your locker room, the size of your weight room, the quality of the construction, the facilities, but it also includes how you're treated, how your families are treated, how your head coach and owner respond to player needs. Team travel, the quality of the travel, where you're staying, it includes all of that. The Patriots, once again, near the absolute bottom of the National Football League. Mazz, your thoughts?
It's embarrassing. I don't know any other word. Embarrassing. So is this something Bill was in charge of too?
Could have been. Well, here's the point. No, it's not. Not all of it. Some of it. But definitely not all of it. That was the story Pete Carroll told when he arrived in 1997.
And Kraft comes to me and says, well, we're not going to feed them like that. We give them bologna sandwiches and chips and stuff like that.
I mean, what a shot. That was 97. So the Belichick had nothing to do with that. And so I think this predates Belichick, and I think it's going to post-date Belichick unless they change their ways down there.
I mean, it's embarrassing. What other word is there? Yeah, embarrassing.
What's Bill have to do with putting in like a decent daycare facility for, again, they ranked F-.
Well, okay, so do you want to go into some of the individual stuff?
Sure. Yeah, by all means.
So, again, there are different categories. Like treatment of families, they ranked 30th out of 32 teams with an F-. So there were other teams that got an F-. Treatment of families, F-. They are one of 12 teams that do not provide a family room during games. They are one of 7 teams that do not provide daycare support for players' children on game day. They are one of only 4 teams that do not offer either a family room or daycare.
I mean, that's a grade that's not just brutal, but kind of hilarious. Like when you say something or someone is an F-, not only are you telling that someone or something you suck, but you're also garbage. Like the lowest of the low. An F-.
It's like a bad landlord.
Yeah. Or like a bad professor that you rank online or something like that. F-, not just bad, the worst.
No, like decrepit. Again, I use the landlord analogy. It's decrepit. The plumbing doesn't work. The electricity, the heat doesn't work.
Roaches.
The place is rotting, and you're doing nothing about it. F-.
F-. Yes, Jimmy?
The 2 teams that are beneath them, the Commanders and the Bengals. That's the F- teams.
The trash of trash in the National Football League. The trashiest organization, just about all of sports, the Commanders. Obviously holdover from the Daniel Snyder thing. The new guy hasn't had a chance to really make his mark yet, but the biggest clown ownership in all of sports, Dan Snyder's Washington Commanders, and just about the cheapest in the Brown family Bengals. That's who you're lumped down there with. Food cafeteria was actually their highest ranking, B-, ranked 15th in the league. So the food's, at least average. Their nutritionist ranked also a B-, but was 20th in the league. Locker room is C-, 20th. Training room C, 22nd. Training staff B-, ranked 25th. The weight room was an F and ranked dead last in the National Football League. Their strength coaches ranked 31st in the league with a C-. Team travel was a D, as in dog, 24th in the league. So now this is what's interesting. Who do the players blame for it? Because they asked them to grade the head coach and ownership in terms of player response or responsiveness to players, in terms of, I guess who they, hold responsible for the conditions and how they respond accordingly. Well, Bill Belichick got a B minus, B as in boy, which ranked 27th. Ownership got a D plus as in dog, also ranking 27th. So you could say they ranked roughly the same, although Belichick got a higher grade. At the worst, you could say that they hold ownership as responsible, if not more, than the head coach, or they just lump them together. One of those two things. So it's not like this is just a Bill problem. And if you think it's just a Bill problem, you are obtuse or carrying some water or whatever the case may be. This is a statement on organizational quality. This is a statement on how owners treat players. It's a statement on working conditions and those things. And certainly those budgets and finances go way beyond the head coach's purview. The head coach can't tell an owner that we're going to stay at this hotel versus the other. He can recommend it. He can lobby for it. But at the end of the day, the owner has to pay for that. And so that's what that comes down to. And you are once again at the bottom of the league. It is embarrassing.
It is. There's no other word for it. And again, whether rightly or wrongly, we can argue it as critics or outsiders. These are the guys in the league. These are the players in the league who voted on this. This is what they're saying. So again, if I were the coach or the owner, I would take it to heart. Organizationally, the players in the league look at the Patriots and say, joke. That's what they do.
Or cheap.
Yeah, I sort of put it in the same class. But, yeah.
The head coach, again, B minus. Only 55% of players feel that former head coach Bill Belichick was efficient with their time, 31st overall. The players feel that Bill Belichick was rarely willing to listen to the locker room, 31st overall.
Shocker.
Ownership. Club owner Robert Kraft receives a rating of 6.9 out of 10 from Patriots players when considering his willingness to invest in the facilities, 27th overall. So this is kind of why we mock the Lighthouse. They built the Schmenzer out there in the north end zone for what? I mean, how does a player or a coach or the team benefit in any way, shape, or form from that thing?
He doesn't.
They don't.
So if I'm not mistaken, the revenue they would generate from something like that Lighthouse is not shared among the 32 teams. You share, obviously, the TV money. You share most of the merchandise sale. You even split a lot of the ticket sales. I think there are a few things you get to keep as an owner. I think luxury boxes might be one of them, or function rooms like that, So that's purely something that goes to the bottom line. It doesn't go to the NFL salary cap. It isn't in the shared revenue. I don't think. I don't know how that's treated. But if a player walks into his, dead last rated weight room, the worst weight room in the NFL, and looks up at that Lighthouse, and you blame a player for saying, well, what the hell are we doing here?
No, I wouldn't. I would expect it. In fact.
Where's the money going?
Yes. Legitimate question.